Usher in. Are our Houston Rockets real contenders to win a championship? Despite the youth, and before you go, here's another comparison. Is Ime Udoka not cultivating a culture and the type of talent he had, like he had in Boston?
No, the skill set is not quite there yet, and the consistency isn't there of 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 production,
Yeah,
i.e., Green. Green, you're getting paid too much money, and you're too much of an asset for you not to be being the impact that you need to be,
I
knowing
think
that you can.
he's not getting paid too much money. 3 years, 100 some million is actually a bargain.
Off a rookie extension? Because if
Off a
he,
Mm.
rookie extension is definitely a
Put me
bargain.
on.
I'll say this: due to our offensive system, our offense does not run through Jalen Green. So for Jalen Green to still be a 20 point per game scorer, Alperen Sengun is the vocal point on our offense in which it flows. Though Fred Van Fleet may be the designated point guard, just from a statistician standpoint and just the actual labeling of positions, but the offense genuinely runs through Alpi, through the high post or the elbow, and they run off of that with a lot of actions, back screen and cuts, and then again you will have Fred facilitating offense, but the Rockets are one of the deepest teams in the league, man. It's just not a lot of opportunities to say, "Hey, Jalen, go get 25 shots tonight." We have a team that's deep. We have a lot of young guys that can play off of the bench. You got Tari Eason, you got Amen Thompson, you got Reed Shepard, third pick of the draft this year.
Didn't the
You got
Boston Celtics not have that? And they had two star players.
no, I don't. I'm gonna say no. I can see the correlation that's trying to be made, but in my opinion, I think we're deeper in regards to the collection of young talent that we have, both that start for us and that come off the bench. We still have Jamari Smith on a rookie extension. We still have Alpi on his rookie extension. We still have Tari, Amen, Reed. We have a plethora of guys. I haven't even mentioned uh,
Reed,
no, I did mention Reed
Whitmore.
Shepard,
oh,
but I'm
you
saying I
said
haven't mentioned Cam Whitmore, who's definitely an energizer scorer off the bench who hasn't really honed his skill yet, just due to the fact of being so young. And again, you own a team where it's really hard to get minutes, bro, because again, from top to bottom, 1 through 15, we're a very deep team, man.
With
So
that being said, is it
it may be
inevitable
too
for us to
much
go
talent.
make
We
that
may have
trade?
to move some people out of the door just so they could blossom and take flight, right? I hate to say that. I do love our young core, but
It's
you know,
inevitable at this point.
it
Correct
is
me if I'm wrong.
inevitable. But to answer Emac's question in regards to can we compete this year for sure for a championship, I'm gonna say yes. Throughout the first 20 games, you saw that they were number one in the West.
16
Um,
and 8 currently. Only two and a
Time
half
for
games back from number one seed, that being OKC. Yeah.
so number two in the West currently. I think we have a shot to compete, man. I think next year will be a more genuine shot to actually legitimately win it all because I do see the East being a huge hurdle, with Boston still being a huge threat, with the Knicks still hanging around. You still have the Bucks trying to figure things out, winning, I believe, 11 of their last 12. Um,
So
but
are we competitors or contenders?
I
Mm.
believe competitor and contenders are one and the same. They're synonymous
A
adjectives.
contender says you are gonna be a top four possible championship, Eastern Conference, Western Conference.
Well, they
Competitor
top,
means
they three seed.
you can stumble yourself in there like the Pacers did. Like you may not be guaranteed to
I don't
do
think
it,
we're
but you
ready
can
to.
stumble across into it.
I don't think we're going to be ready this year because we just haven't been in enough situations to where I think where we're going to know how to play winning ball at the end of games. And
And
because we're so deep,
So
I don't know
competitors.
how that pecking order is going to be when possessions get few and tight. Who is going to be our go-to guy to go get us a bucket in clutch situations? How is that offense going to run? That takes some bump in your head. and some getting used to and just some trial and error, that which we don't have because we haven't really been in the playoffs like that. But I believe once we do make the playoffs this year and we bump our head, I think next year we'll be in a really prime position to compete.
Yeah,
I say a little further than. Oh yeah, I see us being the Western Conference
A prime
Pacers.
position to compete, not win the championship, but I'm talking about compete as in make it to the second round of the playoffs and be fighting to make the Western Conference Finals.
In my opinion, that's pretty much what a competitor is. Like competitor, contender, competitor. You like I said, you're fighting. You're not a run over team. You're not going to be smashed over. You're going to put up a good fight. Possibly even stumble across into the conference championship. But a contender is no. You're supposed to make it. There's no question about it. You're supposed to be in that championship, possible finals. So I don't think, like you said, pretty much competitors this year, contenders next year if everything goes correlated and everything goes right.
I don't agree with the competitor narrative as it relates to comparing it to the Indiana Pacers. Uh, Simply because if I'm not mistaken, I feel like the Pacers were still like a play-in team, but I could be wrong, but I think they had to have been a playoff team because their defense was horrible. But
I got you. I got you. But I would say more of the idea of getting into like the fact of like we never expect you to be here, but we know you got a decent amount of fight in you. Like we're not
they
calling
barely
you
got
all the way
in.
out,
The
but we know like
Pacers
strap your boots up. We playing this team.
the Pacers barely got in last year. They were actually a 6 seed.
Oh yeah,
But
horrible example, guys. My apologies.
yeah, but like no, to everything y'all saying, do I think we're gonna win it this year? No. I think it's imperative though that we reach the playoffs, which I think is highly doable. I like the leap that we make and going from like it not being in our control because we dropped the game and we needed some other teams to win for us to be able to get a play-in spot. For us to be in that position now and then that right now being a 3 seed, being tied with the 2 seed or whatever, um, I think it's a great leap to start the season. Again, season don't really start till after Christmas, but we're almost here. Um, I really want us to make as deep of a playoff run as we possibly can because as you see oftentimes with young teams, they just burn out deep into the playoffs because they're not used to like playing that long after the season. It's just like they got to get acclimated to playoff toughness. And like you 1, 2, 3 Cancun in April, and you look up and you still in the playoffs. It's game 6 in elimination, and you typically would be in Mexico somewhere, but like you're in a game 6 on the road trying to figure out like, all right, trying to force your body to be like, all right, we still got to continue playing at a high level. Um, and so, yeah, getting that playoff experience this year is our ultimate goal. I feel like it's the ultimate goal for us. And having that young core, we signed Sangoon, we signed Jalen Green, our two pillars to their contract extension. So we know they're going to be
What
here
is
for quite
Sengun
some.
get? We signed Sengun?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
we signed
same day,
Sangoon, maybe 3 to 4 for like 100, well over 100. Yeah, but
same day.
yeah.
Jalen Green.
Yeah, nah, getting that playoff experience this year is pivotal for us. 5 year, 185 million extension is a so yeah, really want us to get as much go as deep in the playoffs as we possibly can. If we could win a series on top of that, oh man, watch out for next year for sure, for sure.